What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to break down how you could have caught these moves yesterday on gold. Very educational video on the DTG system and the DTG entries. How we find, how we really go through our three-step model, which is find a direction to trade, build confluence in that direction, and then look for an entry model. We have three entry models within the DTG Academy: trending, breakout, and break and retest. So we can kind of catch all cycles of the market. And without further ado, let's get down to it. I just want to say before we do, if you do not understand any of these concepts I'm about to talk about within this video, like my liquidity concepts, ES, LS, FLS, retracements, divergence, anything like this, break of structure, TS, FLS right here. If you do not understand any of these concepts, that is completely normal. Do not stress. You will learn about everything within the DTG Academy, all the concepts of the system, how we find liquidity, how we find direction, where we look for our entries, how we look for our entries, where we play stop loss, take profit, when we move to break even, when we close the trade at a loss, when we close the trade at a profit. Everything that I'm about to talk about, you will learn. Don't worry, don't stress it. And let's get into it. So, step number one for the DTG system is to find direction. And yesterday, if we just quickly go back to the replay tool here, and I turn on the DTG indicator, right? This is already pre-built to find direction automatically for you, okay? And yesterday, at this moment in time, if you have a look, we have a neutral bias, okay? Which means the market could swing to the upside or it could swing to the downside. There's no clear directional bias at that point, but it is telling us that it's neither bullish nor bearish, and we can look for setups in either direction if the confluence forms for that direction. Right here, we had many points of bullish confluence. The biggest one being the 12-hour divergence here from the RSI window down below. You can see the previous structure point low that we are looking at is over here. Okay, this is our structure point low in the market where we're looking for potential divergences. And that's exactly what happens, because on the RSI chart, we can see that price came down here and it spiked these lows. Okay, these are the lows we're talking about, spiked them. But on the chart, here is those lows. It does not come down and spike these lows, right? On the RSI, it does. So this is divergence already for us, indicating that we are looking for potential buy setups after rejecting our key level right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wicks, as well as then breaking above the opening daily gap right here and retesting and giving us a 30-minute buy signal right there. So we have a direction to trade, we have confluence, and we have an entry. And if we have a look in the top right here, we can see the exact entry, stop loss, take profit 1 and take profit 2 all mapped out for us on the chart. Very simple, very easy to follow along. And price then drives up 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio for 100 pips. Stop loss was 50, take profit is 100 pips. Now, from this point, if you're looking to the left-hand side, by the way, this is a classic DTG setup, right? Clean DTG setup. But if you look to the left-hand side, you can see that we're now pushing up into ES, LS, FLS. This is our bearish liquidity area, right? We're anticipating that gold can spike into this area, grab some bearish volume, bearish liquidity, and then start driving down, which if you have a look at the chart is exactly what happened yesterday. So once that starts to reject, we can see we start pushing down, boom, we start selling off from here, okay? So at this point, we still have a neutral bias, so it could swing either way. Now, it's not usual for us to have a neutral bias. Usually we have a very clear bias. It's either bullish or bearish. In this instance, yesterday, with the market open on Monday and price kind of remaining within this area, it was neutral. But we can then build confluence in either direction. You can see we did grab bearish liquidity here. We spiked into these areas, grabbed bearish liquidity, and we started selling off, breaking below an AOI area. This is an area of interest that we look for an entry within the DTG Academy, within the DTG system. And we get a 30-minute closure below here. Now, this is one of our 3 entry models, a 30-minute break and tap, or a break and tap in general. And as you can see, what happens here, we come up, we eventually tap that level. Okay, so we've broke this key level, and now we're retesting it. So I put some sell stops back in at this area once it's flipped bearish again, right? And what happens here, we've eventually flipped back bearish. Boom, I was triggered in that trade. Price started driving down a little bit. And then we eventually get we're sitting in a little bit of drawdown here. Then we eventually get a closure, right? So now this candle has closed bullish and it's broke the previous highs. What I did here was once this candle spiked down, I closed that trade at break even right here, right? Because at this point, we have a new key candle closure and open. So I'm anticipating some sort of move, whether that's to the upside or the downside. I don't know at this point, but I didn't want to take any risks. So I just got out of that trade at break even. And at that point, what happened is we spiked up back into the liquidity areas, grabbed that liquidity again, right? Tapped into that level again, grabbed that liquidity one last time, and then started selling off again. Now, there was more break and tap entries here, which did end up playing out. I didn't take these. They didn't really align with the system. As you can see, that the bias at that point was bullish. So we was looking at retracements to look for some buys down in these areas with bullish liquidity. Now, as you can see, TSFLS, this is a bullish liquidity area as well as a potential break of structure. If we tap this level and we start driving back up, this is bullish liquidity. If we break below here, retest it and continue bearish, this is a break of structure and we can start looking at some bearish setups, which is exactly what happened. Now, this was a solid setup or a solid entry, but again, the bias at this point is still bullish. So looking for sells is not really ideal. We can see that trade plays out almost from 1 to 2, and then you would have managed the trade once you get bullish closures here and here, and you would have been out of that trade at break even right there before price kind of continued back down to that take profit level. But those were the trades yesterday. A beautiful 1 to 2 risk reward ratio win, 100 pips, a break even, and another break even. Really, if you're following the system to an absolute T, you're not worried about that entry because the bias is bullish. These are the only 2 entries that really should have been taken from valid DTG system entries yesterday. And that was the day, man. That was the day. Some breakdowns posted over here in the Discord. Some members catching the sales yesterday. But overall, pretty decent day. Some decent results. And that was the DTG system yesterday, man. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're on our way to 5K here on YouTube. So hit that sub button, man. Let's get us to 5K. I appreciate you for watching. If you want to join the DTG Academy and plug in this system straight into your chart and start taking these setups instantly with us over here in the DTG Academy, all you have to do is click that link down below in the description. Also my Telegram down there as well. If you want to come over to the Telegram channel, have a look at some of the results, have a look at some of the analysis and updates that I post in there, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.